And
Who is
Tony
that?
Danza.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It's Tony Danza. I remember
Tony
that.
Danza.
Going ape. This made
Really?
$3. This made $3.
I want to see this just because it's got to be so awful.
On the billing, and that's what the billing was. It was what Danny DeVito, 3 orangutans, and then Tony Danza. Tony Danza got billing below the orangutans.
God.
So he wasn't real happy about
Tom,
it.
you're a movie reviewer.
And he
Have
was
you seen
pretty
Going
hot.
Ape?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Because they were coming off Taxi Heat,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, both were. It's
That was
8:33.
after Taxi?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Danny came out. Danny was the hottest coming out of Taxi.
Right.
And then, well, actually, the hottest was actually the guy who passed away.
Andy Kaufman.
Laka.
Yeah.
He was the hottest, but Danny got really hot real fast, and they put him in all those buddy movies.
That is right.
Yeah.
Ralph Harris here with us,
I'm
folks.
sorry, that's a
At
little
the Funny
trivia.
Bone.
No,
No,
thank
we're
you
just
for that.
wrapping here. He's at the Funny Bone. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. Stick around. Coming up in just a couple seconds, we're going to give you a chance to win tickets to go to the show tonight. So stand by for. Oh, we'll do it right now.
Let's
How
do
about
it now.
that? That's pretty quick. Just call in to win. See, that's just like a radio show.
Yeah.
283-2323, 283-2323 right now. Operator standing by to get some people hooked up to go see Ralph Harris at the Funny Bone.
I wonder if anybody ever looks at that and goes, "Well, what's the area code?" He said the number. What's the area code? You live here, you know this area code.
Just dial it and see if it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
If not, it'll go somewhere else.
I know,
Who
right?
knows?
So remind us how you kind of got into this business and why you're here today.
Well, I wanted to be in the circus. I wanted to be in the Ringling Brothers Circus because I was a kid who didn't talk much. You know, what my parents and aunts and uncles, they would all say, stay out of grown folks' business, speak when you're spoken to, you know, pretty much keep your mouth shut as a kid. And I was always scared. So I said, I went to in junior high school, they took us to the circus to see Ringling Brothers. And the clowns got out of that little Mini Cooper. And it was 40 clowns. The last one was the littlest one, a little person, you know, and I thought to myself, well, I'm little. I want that job because the way the crowd responded, I was like, man, I could make people respond like my family because they were all singers and performers, my family.
Oh, really?
So yeah, everybody sang, and church, but they could really sing.
Right.
And I said, well, I want my family and everybody to look at me like that. And so when I was a messenger after I got out of the Army, well, I was in reserves after a while. I worked downtown in Philly, and I would volunteer when the circus came to town. And I'd clean up and everything, you know, and I thought they would take me away like the old Burt Lancaster movies where they like, come on, you're a carny now. You're coming with us. I asked the guy, I said, can I go with you all? And he's like, it don't work like that. And I was like, what? And so, but I was already into Eddie Murphy really heavy from high school. And some friends for my 20th birthday, a week before my birthday, they took me to see a comedy club show, open mic night, and I went on the next week, and I never looked back. I've been working steady since that year. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to do anybody else's material. So for the first about 3 months, I was doing Eddie Murphy. I was getting standing ovations, and then I was doing his bit about getting hit by a car on Broadway, and you just missed it. I was walking down the street, I was walking by, and this dude, and the ice cream and all of that, I did all of those bits, and then the club owner embarrassed me one night and was like, the reason he's getting standing ovations, and I was like, why would he do that, you know? So then I went away and came back with Bill Cosby's material.
Nobody's ever heard it.
Right, and so on and so on. And then I eventually wrote my own stuff, but my father was a construction worker, and he said, you know, to him, nothing's worthwhile unless you're going to bring home a check. So these guys weren't making money, and I was like, I got to make some money with this. So I called my high school. I said, can I do the proms? And then when I went to do one of the proms, I met the owner of a dinner theater, and he asked me to do open for Annie, the play. And I was just basically the MC. I did birthdays, bar mitzvahs, and you know, baptisms, and 5 minutes of material. And I was making $375 a week after about 4 months of doing stand-up altogether. They gave me a tux. So the club saw me in that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this.
This is great. This is great.
It's a fascinating story.
So the club saw me in the custom-made tux, and they on the open mic night, and the guy's like, what are you wearing that for? And I said, well, I got a job, and I'm doing stand-up at the dinner theater, 500 people. He's like, you want to go on right now? So he gave me a premium spot, and from there, everything just changed, everything. So
It's weird how
and I've been
everything
doing
lines
stand-up
up like
30
that.
years now.
Really?
30 years, yeah.
How do you develop? The part of what you guys do that fascinates me is how you develop the material.
Well,
you use your family,
yeah,
obviously.
I do a lot of relationship stuff, and a lot of it. I do some family things, but the relationship stuff is always based on, for me, anything that creates conflict. So if we have a disagreement or a difference of thinking about something, that's going to be material, because it's a tug of war. And usually when you're on stage, a battle of the sexes sort of material joke, it kind of lets people know, man, he's just like us, you know. If everything is all sappy and nice, well, we were riding down the coast in the car and everything was great, and you know, you got to have a bird crap on the car or something. You got to have something happen. So, and it's not until that happens that the comedy is there. It's always in the conflict.
Well, and you talk about a guy who's paid his dues. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That was a long way to go.
Oh, who, me?
Yeah.
Oh man, and there's more. There's been so many things that I've done. You know, Showtime at the Apollo, I did it 7 times, where you go up there and your career could virtually end that night in 6 minutes. You know, or 1. You know, and so. You know, I studied comedy too. I watched Phyllis Diller and Bob Newhart and Jonathan Winters and, you know, Mantan Moreland, Pigmeat Markham. That's what I tell any comic. If you are not going to study anybody previous to Louis C.K. and Richard Pryor, then you're not really doing this. You know, it's just like in life. You got to go to school.
Who was the most influential on you, beside Eddie Murphy? Because you said you mentioned Eddie Murphy.
Well, Eddie Murphy is the reason I started, because he was young. But the most influential comedian, it wasn't even a comedian. It has to be George Benson. Really? He taught me how to be a show business person. Yeah, because I started touring with him. That first 6 months, I got a gig, and he let me open for him on tour, and I watched how he operated his business. And the show part was easy. We all got the show, but the business part was important. But as far as a comedian, my first big break came by way of a guy named Rich Scheidner. Rich Scheidner, he let me open for him in front of 3,000 people. I only had 5 minutes of material, and he saw me at a club, and you know,
3,000 people. Where was that at?
At the Valley Forge Music Fair in Pennsylvania. That is it's since gone. It was in the Round, and that's when I learned how to work in the Round. Like, people behind me, and the stage is moving real slow, and it's like, man, this is crazy. But
Is that
I got good at it.
moment when you said to yourself, "This is really happening"?
Oh no, the moment when I said it, that's when I said it's happening for my dad, because my dad needed to see it was worthwhile, and I was like, he's here, okay, cool. I wouldn't even go on stage till my dad showed up, and Rich knew it. He said, just wait till he comes. I was like, really? And we didn't have cell phones back then. So I told my sister to get on the payphone and call this payphone. And I'm waiting by the payphone backstage, and she said, we're here. And I was like, cool, we can start. I needed that for my dad.
Yeah.
And for me, it was after the first open mic when I got a standing ovation. You know, yeah. I can't believe I'm telling you all this. I never told you. You asked the question, and I'm here.
It's fun to hear how people get to where they are, you know, and you've done some great things and continue to do so, so it's fun to hear those stories.
And you know theater, so you know the dream, how it is to pursue the dream, and it's like, once you get a taste of it, you gave me the best drug, man. I'd rather be addicted to this.
You're getting paid to have fun.
Yeah,
It's work, but
it's work, because every waking hour I gotta always be thinking about what I can use.
You're always on.
Yeah,
you're always working.
Well, yeah, on, but not that goofy on.
Yeah.
Where
You're always thinking about something.
Please stop.
Yeah, no, but your mind's always going. How you can utilize it. Yep. We'll be right back, folks. This is Great Day Live in Des Moines.